Let's pause for silence. Oh, chapter 6, topic number 6, keep to the middle path. So before we start, any questions from what we covered last week? So we were on the 6th chapter. It's called the middle path, and we have covered the first 5 topics. We'll start with the last topic. It's called keep to the middle path.
Keep to the middle path. Humanity has fallen into improper ways of living. As a result, people working in their own field of activity are fatigued. Sick and tired of life, they merely look forward to weekends and vacations. The problem stems from the mind. The lack of development of the intellect causes the mind to run wild into the extremities of living and suffer the consequences thereof. To live a perfect life, one would need the active support of the intellect. Building a strong intellect, however, would involve time and effort. Until the intellect is strengthened, people should carefully examine the pattern of their present life. The mind is prone to drive actions to the extremes when the intellect is not available for monitoring them. The general lifestyle could be improved by avoiding the extremities of living that an ungoverned mind pursues. Hence, certain precautionary measures are suggested herein to avoid deviations from the proper way of life and follow the middle path, a path between indulgence and abstinence, a behavioral pattern of moderation and regulation in life's activities. It should help you practice a general discipline until the intellect is fortified to govern the mind. A developed intellect would then direct the mind to execute proper action, all through your life. Initially, you need to analyze the different facets of life. What are the extremities in these facets? Where do they lead you to? How should you avoid those that are detrimental and follow the right path? The analysis starts from the material world and moves on to the inner layers of your personality.
Now, middle path, sticking to the middle path is an extremely important part of our life, anybody's life. And I'm sure most of you have heard this. People also, they say, okay, stick to the middle path. But what does it mean actually? So that analysis is giving here. And actually, middle path is nothing but common sense. Again, common sense is nothing but application of your intellect. And since our intellect is not developed, so there is a tendency to indulge in the two extremes, two extremities. So either you overdo it or you frustrate yourself. Either you indulge in all aspect of life, any aspect of life, or you suffocate yourself, as it were. You become frustrated. So that's what he's saying. People either indulge or abstain. So when mind takes over, you go to these extremities. You may start with good value, but then mind takes over. So one by one, he is going to analyze for us. Starts with the pursuit of wealth and how you manage your emotions, your thoughts, so all aspects of the personality. And the first point itself is extremely important. He talks about wealth, the pursuit of wealth. Now, there are two important references. I mean, those who would like to go a little bit deeper, they can refer to that. I'm referring to Adi Shankaracharya's book, Bhajagovinda. Most of you have done that book, but even if you haven't, don't worry. I'm going to cover the topics, the main points rather. So if I'm not mistaken, can you pull out the book, please? The first verse says, first reference is verse number 2. So where he says, "O fool, give up your thirst for aggrandizing wealth." The word he uses is Trishna. Mood jahihi dhana kama Trishna. Give up craving for wealth. He doesn't say give up wealth. That has to be noted. Create in your mind the thought of reality instead of the thirst. Whatever you gain from your action, content your mind with that wealth obtained. So everything is explained by Swamiji in the book, but I am also giving you that reference in case you want to go extra mile. And the second reference is you have the book with you, Radha. So just before,
Yes,
in fact, during meditation, it occurred to me, oh, I have to refer to
I
this.
have the book with me,
Oh,
Amici.
you have the book with you. Okay.
Yes,
So where he says wealth is calamitous, which verse is that? Wealth is calamitous. So first reference is Bhajagovindam, verse number 2.
yes.
The book, yeah. Second reference is
Is towards the end.
what is the verse number? 29.
29.
So it's a gospel. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam. Wealth is calamitous.
Calamitous.
Reflect all the time. There is not the least happiness from it. The wealthy fear even the sun. This is how it is ordained everywhere. I mean, it's used symbolically. So these are two famous references when it comes to wealth. and you cannot live life without wealth. Either somebody has to give it to you, or you have to earn yourself and manage your life. So make sure you understand all the details, and if any doubts, feel free to question. So let's find out what Swamiji is saying.
One, the human equation with material wealth has been abominable. People all over run after the world with an insatiable thirst for wealth. They crave for more and more, and none has found contentment, satisfaction in acquiring any quantum of wealth. Not realizing this truth, the human craving has crossed all limits. Such craving of the mind with no intellectual governance has led many to cut through moral and legal barriers and meet with serious consequences. Another class of people entertains a fanatic belief that wealth is obnoxious in itself, and they forcefully abstain from wealth and live a frustrated life. Such people merely suppress their desires and suffer inwardly. Thus, both the approaches to wealth lack intellectual penetration and are fundamentally wrong. Extreme craving or abstinence. Both these paths of extremity lead one to suffering and sorrow. Hence, human beings need to avoid these two extremities and follow the middle path. A path of knowledge and understanding of the part played by material wealth. Wealth is a commodity which can be exchanged for material objects, period. With money, you could buy sense objects, no more. Money cannot purchase love or knowledge. However, you need material objects, food, drink for your living. Therefore, you must understand the role of wealth in your life and conduct yourself accordingly. There is no need for craving or shunning wealth. Therein lies the perennial question: when is enough enough? William Shakespeare provides the answer to this question in his play Hamlet. In the play, the minister Polonius gives an invaluable advice to his son Laertes on the eve of his departure to study abroad. The piece of advice that relates to wealth states, "Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy." You may enjoy wealth commensurate with your status, no more, no less. Be rich, but not gaudy, not living beyond your means, no borrowing, no exploitation, no exhibition of wealth regardless of what you're worth. There is no taboo to material well-being, but learn to be content with what you possess. You may then aspire to gain more. That determines the middle path with respect to wealth.
So the first and important point is wealth is necessary for your sustenance. If somebody says what is in wealth, what is in money, then that person doesn't know what is he talking. So without wealth, you cannot survive. You need to eat, you need roof on your head, you need to educate yourself, you need to take care of your health, whatever amenities are required. If you have a family, you need to educate your children and all that. So wealth is must. Without wealth, you cannot sustain your life. But wealth cannot buy happiness. See, that is where people misunderstand. It's such a simple concept. They believe that with wealth, they can buy happiness. If you could buy happiness with wealth, all rich people would be happy. Simple. Then it makes sense. Once you acquire $500,000 or $1 million or whatever, let's keep some benchmark. So once you hit that $2 million, absolutely peaceful. So there is no such thing. So that does not mean every rich person is not happy. This is where the confusion comes. So there is no correlation between having wealth and being happy. In fact, more the wealth, more mental health issues. It's a fact of life. It's a paradox, but it is true. See, go back to your young days when you're a teenager. What wealth you had? 14, 15, your parents, they gave you pocket money and you were so happy. Everybody agrees with me. Maybe, I remember like 30, 40 years back, 5 rupees a week or whatever it may be, a few dollars a week. Absolutely, we used to be happy. Now compare that mindset with your present mindset, just for reference. You'll get the answer. I don't have to explain anything. So have you become happy? $5 a week pocket money. Okay, make it $20, $50. What was your income as a teenager and what is your income now? So when were you more happy, now or then?
Then,
Anybody
yeah,
disagrees?
when we were child, having a $50 or whatever.
Anybody doesn't agree with her? So I'm just trying to prove the point. So you definitely have more wealth now. But are you happy? Ask yourself, find out. So there is no correlation between acquisition of wealth and happiness. Point number one. Point number two, wealth is not a problem. Again, a lot of people, they believe wealth is a problem. Craving for wealth is a problem. So therefore, I gave that reference. The Sanskrit word is trishna. Trishna means greed, avarice, craving. That craving is insatiable. If you have that craving and if you are victimized by that craving, then there is no such thing called as enough wealth, isn't it? Like Swami Ramatirtha, he coins a term, he calls it snares of 99. Meaning you are caught up. When you have $99, you would do anything to have that one straight $100 bill. So you make a withdrawal from ATM, $100 bill comes out. Anybody would want that. So when you have $99, that $1 you feel makes all the difference, will make all the difference. You have $999, you want $1,000. You have $9,999, you want $10,000. You're short of million, your wealth, $950,000. You'll do anything to hit a million. This goes on and on and on. So wealth is not a problem. Craving for wealth and greed for wealth is a problem which is insatiable. Nobody has found that figure. What is that magic figure? So it goes on and on. And then there are some people, that's what he's telling us in the book. Once that craving sets in, there are a set of people who cross all moral and legal barriers to earn wealth. The newspaper media is full of such news, People get involved in scams, they manipulate their tax returns. Brother is fighting with brother, husband and wife are fighting with each other, the separation. I mean, personally, I've seen. And end of the day, it is for what? That husband and wife, when they split, we say, oh, they had a very nasty divorce. Most cases, they are fighting for what? The wealth. Or there are children who have cheated their own parents. There are so many examples for wealth, or it could be other way around. So that's what he means. You cross moral and legal barriers to earn wealth. 2008 financial crisis in America is the best example, isn't it? So people crossed all moral and legal barriers. And who crossed? That is interesting. Who were the people who were responsible for that?
People with money.
We also have money. Nobody is saying,
Greedy people with money.
something is missing.
Thanks.
People who was in the stock market in charge, manipulating inside and everything.
Correct. I mean, I could be in the stock market, but $100 is my worth.
Yeah.
Something is there.
Honesty.
Oh, you forgot the question now. Forgotten the question now. What is the question?
Who was the one who started doing all this manipulation? The people who are rich and influential can do inside manipulation.
Who already had millions. See, that is the
Millions.
point.
Yeah.
If you miss that, then it doesn't, then what are we discussing? Who already had millions and millions of dollars. Therefore, he says, you may break all moral or legal barrier to acquire a little bit more. So how do you manage your expenses? Again, go back to the main point. Yes, you need wealth to sustain yourself or whatever you want to buy. So you should be able to manage your life from the spillover. From spillover, I mean, X amount of money you have invested. It could be whatever. It could be in mutual funds. It could be whatever. So from that earning, you should be able to manage your expenses. But that's not what is happening. People borrow money to indulge. You get the difference. And that spillover is different for different people. That spillover could be extra, by spillover even extra. Let's say it is $20,000. So you manage within that. Somebody may have a spillover of $100,000. That is wealth. Another person may have a few $1,000,000. So you manage your expenses within that spillover. Do you understand that word? Let's say your portfolio is $500,000 for argument's sake, and you are earning maybe $100,000 or $60,000 from that. So you manage whatever extra you feel like upgrading your car. You have Toyota Corolla. I mean, you can upgrade whatever. You may buy Camry or you may buy Tesla, but that's not what happens. The spillover is 20,000 and we want to buy a car which is costing $70,000-$80,000. Do you get the point? It's such a simple point. Life will be simple, straightforward, no mental agitations. And then he quotes Shakespeare. See, even if you have wealth, make sure it is rich, not gaudy. It's not that you have to scrounge. It's not that, you have to deny yourself. But gaudy means something which is exorbitant. Just because you can afford $20,000, $50,000 purses. I keep forgetting that brand name. Jigar knows.
Birkin.
But $40,000, $50,000, no? So you could, just because you could afford. So that's what he means. Rich, not gaudy. Vulgar display of wealth. Just because you have wealth, a vulgar display of wealth. Again, the common example which every other class we give, weddings. Just because you have $100 million, so you end up spending $5 million, on your son's wedding, daughter's wedding. So it's a fabulous piece of advice. So moderation. And be content with what you have. Extremely important point. If you are not content with what you have right now, when are you going to be happy in life? Most people, they are linking their present happiness to their future acquisition of wealth, isn't it? When I reach, let's say you are at $100,000, when I hit $500,000, then I think I'll be peaceful. So till then, you are going to be miserable. So be progressive, keep on working, hammer on, that's the message. At any stage, do not link your present happiness to your future acquisition of wealth. If you do that, whole life you will be miserable. And it will prevent you from acquiring more because you're mentally disturbed. So when you're mentally disturbed, you cannot be productive, isn't it? So these are practical tips. No exhibition of wealth, regardless of what you are worth. See, those who are born rich, traditionally rich, rarely you will find they exhibit their wealth. Those who acquired the particular word for that, neo-rich or something, Tejo might know. Is it neo-rich?
I think it's just like new money, wealth.
Yeah, okay, new money. Let's be simple. Yeah, why use words, complicated words? Like new money versus traditional money. It is a new money people, they haven't really seen wealth, so they have that attraction for wealth. So they are the ones who display that. See, I'm an Indian, so I can bash Indian community, and nobody will object. Something they came to America with $10, $20. We say with Katora. I don't know how to explain that. And nothing with a bowl, simple plate. They came to America, nothing. They acquire money here and just see the vulgar display of wealth. I mean, not everybody is like that, but good many you will find. Everything they throw grand party. A graduation party is like a wedding, son's graduation or daughter's graduation. Sometimes there are weekly parties. They'll invite, I don't know, few hundred people and then call singers like Veera, Jigar. They are like Bakra. Bakra means scapegoats. Now they won't go. That vulgar display of wealth as opposed to traditional money where they don't show off. Personally, I attended one of one wedding in Madras, Chennai. So that family was known family, one of the richest family in Chennai. The Swamiji's disciple. Simple wedding. They couldn't stick to that golden number of 20 because they're so well known. But otherwise they would have had at least 5,000-6,000. So a few hundred people. And that lady, the mother, she wore this Vedanta Academy uniform sari. Some of you must have seen, like Lakshmi ji she wears, something like, I don't know, like what Radha is wearing, that is Vedanta Academy. It's not a sari. And the whole community talked about it. I mean, what's wrong with you? Misunderstood. But then few people, they got the point. They said, why are we exhibiting our wealth? And some of them, they went for a simple wedding. So this is how it spreads. So you may have vast amount of wealth. I mean, it depends on, each one is at a different level. So just because you have a lot of wealth, that does not mean you exhibit that wealth. So the word he uses is vulgar display of wealth. And that's what Shakespeare tells us. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy. Meaning whatever you can afford. I mean, there's no harm in buying. But not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy. So first of all, whatever you can afford. So therefore we use the word spillover. It's equivalent of that. But not expressed in fancy, rich. It could be rich, but not gaudy. So are we okay? Any doubts? See, imagine somebody had told this to us when we are 14, 15. I mean, imagine what kind of a life we would have. Most people, even at the age of 90, they don't know this because they are not exposed to knowledge. So once it hits you, I mean, you'll have a smooth, agitation-free life. And you will enjoy life. That's the beauty. These are the topics for discussion. Beyond a point, I can't explain. That is where your Wednesday or Thursday discussions, they come in. I mean, somebody should ask this question. What does it mean? Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy. And then the group should discuss. So any questions? All clear? Okay, great. Next point, please.
Two, as regards one's attention to the physical body, again there are two sets of people. One set is obsessed with one's physical fitness. They spend all their time torturing the body with endless fitness programs and regulating their calorie intake. They have only two consultants in their life, the weighing machine and the mirror. With their living revolving around just the physical body, they pay no attention to their inner personality. There are others who totally neglect their physical body and let it slip into any shape it takes. They indulge in indiscriminate eating habits and refrain from any form of physical exercise. Become obese and develop physical ailments. One must learn to strike the balance between the two extremes. Neither undue obsession for physical training and wellness, nor total negligence of it. Remember, the physical body is the vehicle that transports you from experience to experience all through your life. You need to keep it in good repair. Understand its role in life and act accordingly. Follow the middle path.
So again, it's a very practical advice. So there are two sets of people. One set of people, they are absolutely obsessed with their body, physical fitness, I mean, we all go to the gym. Personally, I've been going to Lifetime for last 14, 15 years. It's a great gym. But then there are people who are so obsessed with their health. Six packs, that's you get my point. So they will do anything to get six packs. And it's not easy. Believe me, it's not easy. A lot of efforts are required. So too much attention to body. So the time they spend, the energy they spend, physical as well as mental energy, so that they want to be healthy. And also, beyond a point, if you're obsessed with it, it is prone to injuries. How many of you heard that people hurting themselves in the gym, hurting themselves in yoga? I know two cases where they tore their shoulder muscle. How can you stretch beyond your capacity? That obsession. Again, about eating habits for fitness, we're talking about like this diet, that diet. If you look at the generation, like our parents or grandparents, they were also fit, extremely fit, in fact. They just ate the traditional food. What diet? Keto diet, this diet. I'm not saying you should not follow it. That obsession with this diet plan, that diet plan. So obsessed with that, obsessed with health. So that is one set of people. Another set of people, they neglect their health completely. You see the two extremes here. So they don't care about their eating habits. They don't bother about any exercise. And sooner or later, it has to catch up with you. Body will fall apart if you're not careful. So for that, we need to understand the importance of physical body. See, physical body is means to an end. Without fit body, you cannot achieve anything in life, isn't it? But that's the role of the body, nothing else, nothing else. So it has to be kept in good repair. But the tendency is to indulge in two extremes. Either you pay too much attention to body, or you what? What is the other extreme?
Didn't pay attention at all.
You don't pay attention at all. So simple point. Any doubts? See, most of you have seen Swamiji. Now he's 98. Only last 8-10 months, he lost sensation in his feet. So he's not able to walk. At the age of 93, he gave a talk in Manhattan, New York. I think some of you were there. He was 93 that time, isn't it?
Yeah,
Either 93
2019.
or 92. And he was planning to come next. We wanted to organize a bigger event, but then COVID hit. It's not that at 92 till even now he's is fit minus his ability to walk. You see, everything he eats. We have traveled with Swamiji all over the world. Simple formula. What is that simple formula? Less spice, less oil, and go easy on desserts. Do you get it? Don't ask, give me recipe. Less oil, less what?
Spice.
And third is
Easy on desert.
easy on the desserts. So within these parameters, you eat what you want to eat. You like Mexican, okay, eat Mexican. You like Chinese, eat Chinese. You like Vietnamese, Ethiopian food, Eat Ethiopian food. Indian food, okay, eat Indian food. Follow this formula plus regular exercise. A little bit of stretching, some walking, that's it. Are we okay? Any doubts? I think it's too simple. I don't know. Yeah, next please.
Three, the five sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, have a natural tendency to reach for their respective sense objects. The eyes wish to see better color and form. The ears tend to listen to pleasant sounds. The nose likes to smell something sweet. The tongue fancies good taste. Thus all the five senses go extrovert to feed on their respective pasture lands. Moreover, the sense objects themselves lend a natural attraction to the sense organs. Thus there is a push and a pull. The sense organs running after the objects and the sense objects drawing the senses towards them. In this predicament, people lacking intellect take to two different paths. One type of persons allow themselves to indulge in sensual pleasures indiscriminately and becomes slaves to the senses. The other type fanatically believes that pleasures derived from senses are prohibitive, and they take a stance of total abstinence from any form of sense gratification. Such persons who are not free from inherent desire for sensual pleasures turn into frustrated, suppressed, repressed individuals. The middle path runs between the two extremes. Human senses are there to enjoy the sense objects, but one should neither indulge in them excessively nor abstain from them totally. Just follow the middle path and maintain the right equation with the senses.
So again, it's very practical. So you have to practice self-control. And self-control is not self-denial. That is where misunderstanding comes. Are you controlling the sense objects or sense objects are controlling you? Find out. So only when you have powerful intellect, you'll be able to control the senses. Otherwise, you'll be victimized by your senses. So that's what he's telling us. See, first of all, you have to understand that there is a constant push and pull between the senses and the sense objects. Because you have desires. If you have no desires, then there is no push and pull. But since you have desires, or to the extent you have desires, to that extent, that push and pull is constantly going on. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. These are the five senses. It's in the book. And then there are corresponding sense objects. Color and form for the eyes, taste for the tongue, sound for the ear, like that. So these are the sense objects. So not only you have desire for the sense objects are made more attractive. That's the problem. You like chocolates. So if you just see piece of chocolate lying on the table, brown, egg shape, it's not that attractive. But the way it is packed, the wrapper itself is so, amazing, the way they pack the wrapper. So it becomes more attractive. So you have weakness, you have desire for the sense objects. Sense objects are made more what? Attractive. So you are torn apart. Why you are torn apart? Because your intellect is weak. And that's the reason you find people, they indulge in senses all the time. That's what people do once you acquire wealth. See, therefore, Shankara says, wealth is calamitous. Wealth per se is not calamitous. If you do not know how to relate to wealth, then wealth becomes your enemy. And most of us do not know how to relate to wealth. Find out. Most problems are due to excess wealth. It is happening to you, it has happened to you, but you don't understand that. How many of you had iPhone when you were growing up? There was no iPhone, I know that. But how many of you had expensive phones when you were growing up? 13, 14, 15 year of age. How many of you had expensive wristwatches when you were 14, 15? Find out. Find out which phone your children are using. Chances are, if you are using, I don't know, 14, the latest is 15?
16.
Or 16. So you have 15, you have bought 16 for your son or daughter. Therefore, he says wealth is calamitous. So you're destroying young mind unnecessarily. So when intellect is weak and you have wealth, you keep on indulging in the sense objects. We can go on multiplying examples. You could have weakness for food. There are, they call foodies. All the time they want to try new restaurants. Once in a while is okay. Shopping, shopaholics. And there are people every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, they have to go shopping. Find out, open your closets, go to the basement. Find out how many items are there which you don't need. Especially in America. India, I don't know what's happening. I mean, last 27 years, I'm out of touch. I mean, I don't shop there. There are chances that 20% of the clothes in your closet you haven't even taken out. What do you call that? Price tags. Find out. It could be 10%. Okay, I may be wrong. How many items are there with the price tags? Find out. And come back next week. Don't tell everybody. Just tell yourself. So homework. Traveling. You could have weakness for traveling. There's nothing wrong in traveling. But there are people during COVID time, they went to Siberia because that part was open. That kind of weakness. You could have weakness for expensive perfume. So we can go on multiplying. So when you become indulgent, that's the philosophical explanation. Your mind becomes disturbed. And calm mind is required, relatively calm mind is required to pursue any career in life, not only spiritual field. Even if you want to become successful as a student, and if you are indulgent, party time, hard party time all the time, I mean, how can you concentrate on study? So whether you want to achieve worldly goals, whether you have spiritual goals, you need a calm mind. So that's what happens when you are indulging in sense objects constantly. And it could be detrimental. That is another point. If you go on indulging in food, it doesn't need any explanation. There are people I know, 2 or 3 examples. Some crazy thing they did while they were traveling, some adventure, I don't know. On the rope, you go from one place to another. What is it called?
Zip lining.
Yeah, zip lining. I know one 74-year-old lady, she she got into serious trouble. I'm not saying because you're 74, 75, you should not do that. I am talking about you should know where to draw the line. So you could get into serious trouble. Not to talk about attraction for the other gender. It doesn't need any explanation. How many marriages have been destroyed? Or how many marriages could have been saved? See, it's nothing but that momentary temptation. I know at least 4 or 5 cases where beautiful marriages were destroyed for that momentary temptation. So that is one set of people. Another set of people, they deny themselves the sense objects. You get the extremes. While desires are within you, while you have desires. See, if you don't have desires, why will you contact the world? It's as simple as that. It's not that you have to contact sense objects, but when you have desires and you don't contact, that you can do. But inside you are frustrated, you become suppressed. So such a person, such people, they are called as hypocrites because they believe that it's not good. You can't contact the world. You should not enjoy the sense object. So there are two extremes. So then what is the conclusion?
Stick to the middle path.
Yeah, stick to the middle path. So sense control, self-control. Are you controlling the senses or senses are controlling you? Find out. Any questions? I don't know how else to explain this. I mean, it's too simple. Point number 4, emotions.
Four, the emotions of the mind could also drive a person to extremities. Bereft of intellectual support, humans are tossed between emotions running amok and a state dry of emotion. Thus, there are two types of people. One set of persons is flooded with feelings and emotions with no control over them. They become emotional, impulsive, involved in the affairs of the world. And their minds remain attached, possessive with their business, family, practically everything they meet in their lives. Such emotional involvement in life causes mental agitation and suffering. The other set of people lives a life devoid of emotion, no feeling, no reaction towards any person, object, or situation, either positive or negative. Their mind is an emotional desert. The middle path lies between these two extremities. When a person has emotion but is not emotional, keep to the neutral path.
See, again, there are two extremities. One set of people, they are totally emotional. See, emotional meaning intellect is not able to manage their emotions in any situation. In a relationship with your spouse, how you relate to your children, it is work relationship, or how you relate to members of society. So there are two emotional, impulsive people. They succumb to their emotions. The other extreme is there is no emotion at all. They're callous, they are indifferent. So that's the analysis. So when you succumb to emotions, meaning when you become emotional, what happens? Again, there are enough examples. Those who know Shakespeare, we often quote this in the class. What happened to King Lear? Became too emotional when his own daughter did not praise him, Cordelia. That's the whole play all about. And he lost his senses, and he ruined himself, literally. He lost his kingdom, he lost his sanity, just that, momentary loss of control on his emotions. Same thing happened to Othello. The fascinating piece of advice, husband and wife relationship became so emotional. Somebody planted a thought in his mind which was completely wrong. So he acted on that feeling, acted on that emotion, killed that innocent lady Desdemona, and killed himself in the end. It's good to have emotions towards your children. I mean, why would you have children, first of all, if you don't have emotions towards them? But if you don't manage your emotions, then you'll end up destroying them. See, pampering, that's what I mean. There are parents who go on pampering their children. It's good to have emotions, but if it is not supervised by your intellect, you get into trouble. So especially in the Indian community, I mean, there are a lot of, there are few people, like the son becomes 17, they buy him or her a grand car. And personally, I can think of 3 or 4 examples, America and Canada, that BMW turned out to be, I don't know what to say, literally a demon that destroyed that boy or a girl. It's not that you have to deny. I mean, for a 17-year-old boy, you buy $70,000 car. Emotion is good. Other thing is you deny them at all. Well, that's what I was telling, I think the other day we had a discussion, Vijay and Raji, you can't deny them. Okay, they intelligently you can manage. Okay, go buy groceries, do this, do that. So that way that desire is fulfilled. I think last week in India, the cricket match happened, IPL. Like it happens all over the world. There was a stampede and people died.
Right.
Happens all over the world. That is the latest last week. It's good to have emotions, support your team, but at what cost? Right next to my house, there is one EV store. I won't mention the name, which EV company. I mean, on an average, 2 or 3 times, there are 30, 40 people who are protesting against that product. I mean, how do you, I mean, they pass all sorts of nasty remarks on you, this and that. Okay, you may have your own views, but when you lose control on your emotions, it can lead to anarchy. So we can go on multiplying examples. So this is one set of people. Another set of people, there are no emotions at all. They are indifferent. This is how French Revolution started. When somebody told a member of a royalty that people, they have no bread to eat, he laughed and he said, let them eat cakes. French Revolution was started because of that one sentence. And this recently happened in Japan a few weeks back. I think they're having some shortage in the rice. So somebody told a food minister, sir, people, they are not getting rice, so we should do something. To which he laughed. He said, I don't have to worry about rice because my followers, they give me rice as a gift. He had to resign. This happened a few weeks back. How many of you are indifferent towards the suffering of the animals? Ask yourself. I'm not getting into the details, and it becomes personal. How can you sleep peacefully when animals are tortured? So the very first point when we have to buy a car, ask Jigar, we start with that, then the rest follows. What is that first point? Jigar?
Is it vegan? Are the seats and everything inside is vegan, not leather made?
That's the starting point. So either the car passes or fails there, then comes the engine and all that. First is whether it has leather seats or synthetic, how can you sit on dead bodies? See, I mean, some of you may not appreciate these examples, but then I have to. I mean, otherwise, how do you explain? Indifferent. I don't care. Let these animals be destroyed. I want my car. So indifferent. Other thing is become too fussy. All the time. How can others do that? How can I start the moment anybody buys a car with the leather seats, I go there with a protest. Become too emotional. So you have to have emotions, but you should not become emotional. That's the middle path. You get it? So either people, they have too many emotions, they become emotional, or they are indifferent. So how can you not have emotions as a human being? But if you become emotional, then you are almost like an animal. So you have to have best of emotions, but should not become what?
Emotional.
And what does that? Is your intellect. If intellect is powerful, you'll be able to manage your emotions. Otherwise, you cannot. Even to succeed is a good emotion, But if you become emotional, there'll be absolute chaos in your mind. Only with a calm intellect you can plan and program your career right from student days. So these are some of the main points. And then it talks about what is middle path at the level of the intellect, and then at the religious level, which is important. So we'll do it next week. So any quick questions from what we discussed today? See, all this is meant for analysis. Beyond a point, I cannot explain. This is where you need to engage yourself in a discussion. But if anything is not clear, feel free to clarify. So all clear? Yes or no? At least some reaction you must show.
Yes.
Otherwise it becomes like a monologue, Only one act, like an actor on the stage, I am dancing all the time. Everybody is watching me. Some reaction, clap or say, okay, it was whatever. All right, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's an announcement, sorry.
Yes.
Radha.
Hello, everyone. Even though we don't have questions right now from the session, I'm sure some questions will crop up in the next 2 days. So we have a question answer session with Amiji on Wednesday. 4th is done, so 11th and 18th, and it's from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can send your questions from the Holocaust of Attachment class to questions@vedantamidwest.org. The questions should be based on what was covered in class. So see you in the question answer session.
So thank you. Have a good Sunday. See you next week.
Thank you, Amit-ji.
Thank you, Amit. Have a good
Thank you so
Sunday.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.